So which one of these two is the better option? Having now reviewed both of these devices, it's time for a quick comparison of the two, as each offers such similar experiences, and at least on the local second-hand market, both tend to still go for roughly similar prices. If you do want more detail though, check out my review for each, linked in the description. At first glance, both tabs look rather similar, but the older S4 screen is slightly larger and more pixel dense. The main difference though will be the type of screen used in each, with the S4 using the much better looking AMOLED compared to the S6 Lite's TFT LCD. This is what gives the S4 its much better colours, deeper blacks and overall more vivid experience. It also has much better viewing angles, with the S6 Lite losing brightness and colour as soon as you're not facing it square on. The S6 Lite does have nice curved corners though. Both feature a headphone jack and SD card slot, so your wired headphones are still useful for media consumption on both. But the S6 Lite only features 2 speakers, compared to the 4 on the S4. Both are tuned by AKG, get to similar peak volumes and sound comparable, with the S4s sounding a touch less tinny, and the 2 extra speakers are useful, as no matter how you hold your device, you can't block them all. Neither has a fingerprint sensor, but the S4 does have an iris scanner. The overall build of the S4 is slightly better too, with the less awkward port placement and glass backing compared to the aluminium of the S6 Lite. This one is subject to preference, but the glass is slightly grippier than the aluminium, but it makes it feel more delicate. The internals are surprisingly similar too, with the S4 having the edge, running the Snapdragon 835, where the S6 Lite is using the Samsung Exynos 9611. Both perform decently, with the 835 offering a touch more processing power and a good deal more graphical grunt. Both come with 4 gigs of RAM, but only the S4 has the option for 6 gigs in higher capacity units. The perceived performance of both will be pretty similar though, not getting bogged down just trying to open apps like budget tabs, but not multitasking monsters like the high-end ones. Finally, a win for the S6 Lite is the S Pen, which boasts a more modern style, feels better to use, and can magnetically attach to the tab, so it stays on hand. The S4's S Pen is thicker, more awkward, and gets lost, unless you pick up a special case that has a dedicated S Pen slot, but then that just adds extra bulk. Only the S4 has dedicated keyboard support with a physical connection though. The S6 Lite has to rely on third-party Bluetooth options for this, which may suffer from the usual Bluetooth keyboard reliability problems. Software on each is currently quite similar, with One UI 2.1 Android 10 on the S4 and One UI 3.1 Android 11 on the S6 Lite. This does get worse for the S4 though, as it's at the end of its software lifecycle, with Android 10 as far as it'll go, where the S6 Lite is scheduled to get updates all the way up to Android 14, which includes the tablet-centric Android 12L. While Android is slowly being decoupled from major releases, with important updates coming via the Play Store, you do miss out on some recent improvements, like more granular permissions and notifications. But the big one will be security updates, and what vulnerabilities may pop up over time. Another testament to software is DeX, which didn't originally come to the Tab S6 Lite, but came to it in the One UI 3.1 update. So now both tabs feature DeX. So while the Tab S4 is faster, prettier, more premium, and better built in every way, it still isn't my recommendation for most. It's a solid choice if you don't really use the S Pen and have no issues with its current software, knowing full well that there'll be no more security updates, features, and even the third-party ROM support is limited. But if you do actually want to use the S Pen, and you should, as it's more fun, you're after security and feature updates for years to come, including many that should make tablets even better over time, while still presently providing an overall solid experience. Tab S6 Lite edges out the S4 in most practical ways. It's a darn shame to see obsolescence by a lack of software support. Thanks for watching to the end as I work to improve things. Chuck us a like if I did alright, and sub to see things get better. Cheers.